What's up guys, it's Tim from Mad Gear Arcade, and today we're back with another music catalog ranking. In this video we're counting down the studio albums of the band Machine Head. Quick rundown, Machine Head is a heavy metal band from Oakland, California whose lineup has had numerous changes throughout the years, with frontman and principal songwriter Rob Flynn being the only original member. Their sound has gone through various changes over the years, from groove metal with elements of thrash, to going straight up new metal, all the way to back to their classic sound with a more thrash approach. But now that the brief bio is out of the way, let's get straight into the countdown. Starting off our countdown at the bottom spot is Catharsis, Machine Head's second most recent album released in 2018. This record can only be described as an utter train wreck, with the band not knowing which direction to take overall, as past and present styles collided to create a series of songs that just sound out of place with one another. The album starts off pretty good with the song Volatile, but then quickly loses momentum with the title track Catharsis, just missing the mark. Beyond the Pale is a good song, but then what follows is a series of misfit songs like California Bleeding and Triple Beam, with blunt lyrics that sound like they were penned by a 13-year-old. Bastards is just an old folk metal jam sounding like something that the Dropkick Murphys would put out. Screaming at the Sun is a good track, but then once again loses momentum with songs like Behind a Mask and Heavy Lies the Crown. Psychotic and Grind You Down are both good tracks, but then what follows is the very immature Razorblade Smile and weak closer Eulogy. Catharsis, arguably Machine Head's worst album, gets a 2 out of 5. At number 9 we have Supercharger. Released in 2001, this is another one of Machine Head's weaker albums. It starts off pretty good with tracks like Bulldozer, White Knuckle Blackout, and single Crashing Around You, but quickly goes downhill for the most part. American High and the closing title track are both good, but just not enough to save the album. Supercharger gets a 2 out of 5. At number 8 we have The More Things Change. Machine Head's sophomore effort, released in 1997, was a huge step back from their debut, which we'll get to later. Once again, this album starts off really strong with both 10 Ton Hammer and Take My Scars that are just straight up bangers, but other than Struck a Nerve, Spine, and Violate, that's pretty much it in terms of highlights. It's just an okay album that gets a 3 out of 5. At number 7, we have Bloodstones and Diamonds. Released in 2014, this is another record that starts off strong with tracks like Now We Die, Killers and Kings, and Ghosts Will Haunt My Bones. The epic 8-minute Sail Into the Black is really good too, as well as Eyes of the Dead. Other highlights include Game Over, and Take Me Through the Fire is a decent closer. Bloodstones and Diamonds is a solid effort that's unfortunately really rough around the edges. 3 out of 5. At number 6, we have Through the Ashes of the Empire. Now we get into the good stuff. Released in 2004, this was a great comeback album after a series of weak and questionable releases, as well as a return to form with a degree of evolution in their sound. The opener, Imperium, is one of their best songs ever. Bite the Bullet, Left Unfinished are both solid tracks, and while there is some filler in the forms of Elegy and Vim, the rest of the album is really good, especially Descend the Shades of Night, which is one of my favorite closers on a Machine Head record. Through the Ashes of the Empire is a great album that showcased a revitalized band and a taste of things to come. 4 out of 5. At number 5 we have Unto the Locust. Released in 2011, Machine Head were really on a roll in terms of stellar releases. There's not a bad track on here. In fact, this album was so good that the band performed almost the entire record each night on the tour supporting it. The epic 8-minute I Am Hell is a great opener. Be Still and Know, as well as the single Locust, are both amazing. Darkness Within is an amazing power ballad, and Who We Are is such a good closer. Unto the Locust gets a 4 out of 5. At number 4 we have The Burning Red, Machine Head's third and most divisive album, released in 1999. A lot of longtime fans hated this album, while it also brought in a new slew of fans. I personally love it, and it's my favorite Machine Head album ever. People can go ahead and call this the sellout / new metal album, and that along with their image, the band had become a walking cliche of the times, but I don't care, I still love this record. Again, not a single bad song on here. Rob's experimentation with rap vocals and Ross Robinson's gritty production worked great on tracks like Desire to Fire, Nothing Left, and the single From This Day. Silver and Exhale the Vile are both great deep cuts. The band even does a unique cover of The Police's Message in a Bottle, and the very traumatic song 5 as well as the closing title track are amazing closers. The Burning Red gets a 4 out of 5. At number 3 we have the new album, Of Kingdom and Crown. After many fans lost faith in the band from the disappointing Catharsis released 4 years prior, Machine Head struck back with a vengeance and reminded everyone why they're one of metal's most enduring acts today. This record has gotten amazing reviews, and while it's not quite perfect like our top two, it comes pretty damn close. Revitalized with a mostly all-new lineup, Of Kingdom and Crown wastes no time in pulling you straight in with the epic 10-minute Slaughter the Martyr before leading into single Choke on the Ashes of Your Hate and Become the Firestorm. My Hands Are Empty is a solid crowd pleaser, and Unhallowed is handled extremely well with the dueling vocals courtesy of bassist Jared McIntyre. While the album does lose a few points for filler tracks like Overdose, Assimilate, and Terminus, all the full-length songs are amazing, including No Gods, No Masters, the ultra-heavy Bloodshot, Rotten, and Arrows and Words from the Sky is an epic closer. Of Kingdom and Crown gets a 4 out of 5. At number 2, we have The Blackening. Released in 2007, it received monumental accolades such as Best Metal Album of the Decade and the successor to Metallica's Master of Puppets. This record is absolutely flawless and doesn't have a dull moment, aside from the fact that most of the songs on here are pretty long and require a bit of patience to get through. But anyways, the album starts off with the epic 10-minute Clenching the Fists of Dissident before breaking into singles and fan favorites Beautiful Morning, Aesthetics of Hate, which was an angry letter to the website Iconoblast for praising the individual who murdered Dimebag Darrell of Pantera, and Now I Lay Thee Down. Halo is a crowd-pleasing anthem, and A Farewell to Arms is an epic closer. The Blackening is a near-perfect 5 out of 5. And finally, at number 1, we have Burn My Eyes. The crushing debut album released in 1994 and would make Machine Head the best-selling band under the Roadrunner Records label for the next 5 years. At least until a little unknown band by the name of Slipknot came around and became one of the biggest metal bands ever. Right away, you're treated to a double banger with singles Davidin and Old. 1,000 Lies and None But My Own are both amazing. A Nation Under Fire, Blood for Blood, and I'm Your God Now are great deep cuts, and Closer Block is absolutely crushing. Burn My Eyes is an all-time classic, 5 out of 5. Well guys, that's every Machine Head album so far. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.